And God said, "Let there be light." In him was life, and the life was the light of men. God created man from the dust of the ground and breathed in his nostrils the breath of life. Genesis 2, verse 7. The menorah is a 7-branch candlestick. I show in my burning bush video how it represents Jesus the vine, and we are the branches. Did God actually create a menorah in the earth? We are dirt and have a circulatory system. The earth is dirt and has a circulatory system of oceans and rivers and streams. These are like our veins and arteries. The Nile River was known as the lifeblood of Egypt, and is possibly where Adam was created. Matthew 2, verse 15, "Out of Egypt I called my son," but that's another story. The Nile flows south to north, starting at Lake Victoria and a city named Jinja, which means rock. So lifeblood flows from the Victory Rock, which is Jesus. The river winds north like a vine and forms the Nile Delta, which is made up of 7 branches like the menorah. More on this and our blood system later. You don't want to miss it. But first, let's look at some parallels of Noah and Moses. Noah was given 120 years to create an ark and cover it with pitch to save mankind and animals after their kind. Then it rained 40 days before being delivered to a new earth. Moses' parents were both from the house of Levi in Genesis 2, verse 1. So he was after Levi, or their kind. Noah was genetically pure, and so was Moses. The word pitch that covers the ark means atonement, covering, and ransom. Sounds like what Jesus does for us inside the ark. He covers us, protects us, provides atonement for us. Moses also was with Israel 40 years in the desert before they were delivered to Canaan by Joshua, which is another name for Jesus. Moses represents the Old Covenant, and Jesus or Joshua represents the New Covenant. The word tava for ark is only used in these 2 instances. Moses' mother conceived and gave birth. That's 9 months. Then hid him 3 months, for a total of 12 months. That's similar to Noah's 120 years. Moses was placed in the ark, made of bulrushes. That's a papyrus plant that was used as paper, and that's what the Bible was written on. Jesus is called the Word of God, and Moses wrote the first 5 books. Many of these were rolled up scrolls, like DNA or blood. In order to read DNA, the strand has to be unwound. This makes me think of the promised seed of Genesis 3:15, and Noah's Ark as a seed. See my recent video, Noah's Ark, the seed planted. This is like the Nile, the lifeblood of Egypt, delivering the DNA seed. It gets even deeper. Stick around. Blood has 4 main components: red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. Remember when Moses and Aaron turned the Nile to blood? And so did the magicians and sorcerers. Think of Revelation 18, verse 23. It even mentions the candle. Everything is carried in the plasma, also nutrients, proteins, and hormones. The red blood cells carries oxygen and carbon dioxide. Think of the lampstand using oxygen to burn and leaving carbon dioxide waste. The white blood cells attack and destroy infection by covering it and taking it away. This is like our sin sickness, being covered and removed by Christ's white robe of righteousness. The white blood cells are represented by the reeds or cattails that is used for water filtration. The Nile Delta is also known for its abundance of reeds, and also the Reed Sea. The platelets form clots to help heal things such as cuts and when a vessel leaks blood and bruises occur, platelets stop the bleeding. In Exodus 2, verse 3, Moses was placed in the reeds in a sticky tar ark like a platelet. The reeds are also hollow, like our veins. This makes me think of Isaiah 42, verse 3. A bruised reed he will not break, and a faintly burning wick he will not quench. Also Isaiah 58, verse 12. And thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. The Nile was formerly called Ar, meaning black, because of the black sediments. Think of the Nile turning red and Jesus' blood covering our black sins. The river was blood for 7 days, like the menorah has 7 candles, and the 7 days of creation. Exodus 7, verse 25. The menorah consisted of cups, buds, and blossoms, for a total of 66 ornaments. We have 66 books in our common Bible, originally written on papyrus. When you read the Word of God, don't just try to read whole chapters or whole books. Slow down. Let each paragraph or each sentence speak to you. Ask God to teach you what you need to learn for each day. God bless.